Namaskar. Manaache Shlok, Shloka 15. Manapahata satya he mrityu bhumi jita bolati sarvahi jiva mimi chiranjiva he sarvahi manitati akasmat sandoniya sarvasati. Jai Jai Raghuvir Samartha. Isn't it curious? We mourn the passing of those around us. We attend funerals, we offer condolences, we know beyond every shadow of doubt, death is inevitable. And yet, we somehow live as though it will happen to everyone except us. Why? Swami Ramatirtha offers a thought-provoking insight. A mathematics professor turned monk, gone at just 33, he remains one of Advaita Vedanta's most criminally under-celebrated voices. His talks gathered in woods of God realization deserve a place right beside your Bhagavad Gita. He says, this strange human confidence is not entirely misplaced. At our very core, we are Atman, birthless, deathless, eternal. Somewhere, however faintly, we carry an unconscious memory of that truth. The tragedy is that we mistakenly attribute that immortality to the body, to the mind, to this fleeting personality rather than to our true self. And so we live as though this passing embodiment will somehow endure forever. Shloka 15 shakes the mind out of that ancient misunderstanding. Come, let us break this down line by line. Line 1. Manapahata satya he mrityu bhumi. Now look, the fact is, the moment we emerge from the womb, we begin our journey towards the tomb. My beloved teacher often chuckles at how joyfully we celebrate birthdays. Another cake, another candle, another party, forgetting as it were that in that very same moment we have inched closer to our demise. Our scriptures explain that every created thing undergoes 6 inevitable modifications, the Shadavikaras. Asti, it exists. Jayate, it is born. Vardhate, it grows. Viparinamate, it transforms. Apakshiyate, it declines. And finally, Vinashyati, it perishes. No one escapes this law. Not kings, not saints, not geniuses, not even the avatars. Rama was born, Krishna was born, and in time, both laid aside their earthly embodiment. Krishna himself declares in chapter 2, Shloka 27 of the Bhagavad Gita, Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu, meaning, for the one who is born, death is certain. In this opening line of Shloka 15, Swami Samartha Ramdas is not presenting a difficult philosophical doctrine. He is simply asking the mind to acknowledge the most obvious fact of existence. Earth is Mrityu Bhumi, the land where everything born must one day die. Perhaps that is why I find it so fascinating that so much of human effort today is directed towards slowing, reversing, or even conquering aging itself. I marvel at human ingenuity. Who knows how far science may one day extend the lifespan of a single body? But however long that journey becomes, it does not alter the truth of this line. Whether tomorrow or centuries from now, every body eventually reaches its end. Line 2. Jita bolati sarvahi jiva mimi. Dharmaraja Yudhishthira was renowned for his generosity. His doors were always open to the poor and the needy. No one, it is said, ever left his palace empty-handed. There was, however, one rule he observed. He never gave in charity after sunset. Anyone who arrived late was requested to return the following morning. One evening, a poor man reached the palace just as the last rays of the sun slipped below the horizon. The great doors began to close. The man pleaded for alms, but the attendants curtly ordered, "Come back tomorrow. The king will surely fill your jholi." The man paused, then asked a question that echoed through the palace. "But tell me, who has assured the king that tomorrow belongs to him?" Yudhishthira came out at once, humbled by the truth in those words, and filled the man's jholi then and there, though it was the moon, not the sun, that stood witness to his great act of charity. Think how confidently we all strut around with the same assumption. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll begin tomorrow. I'll spend time with them tomorrow. I'll apologize tomorrow, as though tomorrow has already been promised. Swami Samartha Ramdas chortles at this extraordinary human certainty. Living upon a land where death alone is certain, we walk about declaring, "Me, mine, I shall," without ever pausing to ask, who has guaranteed us another sunrise? Line 3. Chiranjeeva he sarvahi manitati. We met Dharmaraja Yudhishthira at his palace doors in the previous line. Let us meet him once more, this time deep within the forest. The Pandavas, exhausted by thirst, came upon a crystal clear lake. One by one, 4 mighty brothers approached its waters. One by one, they ignored the warning of an unseen voice, drank, and fell lifeless. When Yudhishthira finally arrived, he found all 4 lying motionless at the water's edge. The voice belonged to a Yaksha. "Answer my questions first, O king, only then you may drink." And so began one of the most profound dialogues in the Mahabharata, the Yaksha Prashna. Question after question, Yudhishthira answered with extraordinary clarity. But one exchange, echoing across millennia, finds its perfect resonance in this line of Shloka 15. The Yaksha asked, "What is the greatest wonder in this world?" Yudhishthira replied, "Day after day, countless beings depart for the abode of Yama. Yet, those who remain believe themselves immortal. What could be more wondrous than this?" Let us pause and think about that. Think about ourselves, still planning, still certain. We attend a funeral and check our phones on the way home. We watch the lifeless body of someone we love disappear into the flames and return to our unfinished to-do lists. Death enters our street, our family, our WhatsApp groups, and somehow the mind continues to whisper, "Not me, not yet." Swami Samartha Ramdas captures this astonishing delusion in a single word: Chiranjeeva, immortal. Everywhere around us, mortality announces itself. And still, each one secretly lives as though exempt. The Yaksha exposed this as humanity's greatest wonder. Swami Samartha Ramdas now asks the mind, how much longer will you insist on proving him right? Line 4. Akasmat sanduniya sarvazati. Akasmat. Suddenly. I don't think anything snaps me out of my own delusions more swiftly than that single word. Let me share when it first did. When I began my Hatha Yoga teacher training course in Melbourne, my son was barely a year old, my daughter about 4. Every weekend, my husband took on the responsibility of our 2 children while I spent the days at the studio. The night before, though, I would painstakingly prepare what can only be described as an operations manual, a long list stuck to the refrigerator. What time the kids should eat, what they should eat, when they should nap, what playground they should go to and for how long, what shows they should and should not watch, and so on and so forth. One particular Saturday, while driving to the course, I called home to check. "Hey, did you remember to?" I asked my husband. There was a pause. "Oh, I forgot," he so casually replied. I was furious, absolutely furious. I drove the rest of the way rehearsing the argument I was going to have with him when I got home. The moment I walked into class, my teacher noticed my reddened face and teary eyes and asked, "What happened?" I unloaded the entire story. I spent 2 hours making that list and he forgot the one thing I specifically asked him to do. She listened quietly. When I finally paused for a breath, her question hit like a bolt of lightning. "And what if, on your way here this morning, you had met with a fatal accident?" Shock. Silence. And she continued, "How long do you think he would have followed that list? And how meticulously?" In that instant, every ounce of my anger dissolved. The list was still there. The forgotten task was still forgotten. Nothing had changed, except me. Akasmat, suddenly. In this concluding line of Shloka 15, Swami Samartha Ramdas leaves the mind with the sobering reminder. In a single unforeseen moment, life will require us to put everything down. Our plans, our possessions, our identities, our unfinished lists. Our work then is to hold everything lightly enough that when the time comes, we can gracefully let it all go. 4 Marathi lines in plain English. O beloved mind of mine, behold the truth. This world is but a land of mortality. Yet, every living being walks about declaring, "I, me, mine." Each secretly believes they are here to stay forever, until suddenly they leave it all behind and depart. Until next week, Krishnaya Arpanam Astu.